All of the things in the middle are basically the essentials. This is what you need in order to start creating the content. Things on the left and things on the right are either optional, premium, or more budget options. So I'm gonna also be dropping some prices for you to have a ballpark figure on what each of these things cost. But to start it off, obviously you do need a camera, and my choice would be Sony a6700. There are many reasons why, but this camera can produce a really good results, and you can go even semi-professional with this, earn some money. And budget option would be probably something like ZVE10, and I would recommend you to still stick with the APS-C camera if you are starting the content creation, whether it's pictures, whether it's videos. It's gonna be plentiful with this camera with 24 megapixel sensor. You also have really good video capabilities. You can record audio, you can shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second. You have picture profiles, all the good stuff in this little powerhouse. And on top of that, it has in-body image stabilization, and it uses these larger batteries that also the full frame cameras use. So you're getting a pretty good battery life as well. Next up, you need a lens. Obviously you can go with a kit lens, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, you can really start with it, but I think it's gonna be a waste of money. So for you, I would say there are two options. Either you go with my pick, which would be the Tamron 17-70 f2.8. Plenty bright, it's a zoom lens, it extends when you zoom, but it's all fine. I mean, it is a little bit chunky, especially for APS-C, but it's not like enormously huge, and it has a really good reach. I mean, you go from 17 all the way to 70 millimeters, so that covers almost all of your basic needs. It's wide enough on a wide end and zoomed in enough on the far end, but if you need something wider, obviously you wouldn't want to have a wide angle zoom lens or a prime lens. Alternatively, for the Tamron, you can also look at the Sigma 18-50 millimeter f2.8 as well. It is so much more smaller, sharper, but the downside is it doesn't have the image stabilization in the lens, and it has less of a reach. I made a whole video comparing these two lenses, so if you want a deep dive, you can check it out. But my recommendation still would be to go with the Tamron. And to pair the Tamron, if especially you want to have different variety of the shots, I would say you also need one prime lens. My choice right now falls on all of the Viltrox Air series lenses, and this one particularly is my favorite focal length, the 25 millimeter. The lens is without any features, so it is as naked, as simple as it is, but it also is the reason why the price is so low. You can get it under 200 bucks new, so that's an absolute steal. And you can also go with 35 millimeter. That's also a good focal length for one lens. And if you want to pair it, there's also 15 and 56 millimeters, so you can have a lot of combos. There's plenty of choices for this lens. Sharpness is amazing, autofocus is amazing. It is super light, super small, and just overall really well built lens for a budget. So definitely check those out. I'll have all the links in the description, by the way, if you want to check it out, so you don't have to remember all the names. Next up, the batteries. You'll probably have your camera coming with at least one battery, but I highly recommend you getting another one. I don't particularly recommend Sony batteries because I think they're just price performance is not there. They're quite expensive. So on the left side, we have the budget options, and I'm using personally the Nightcore batteries. It gives a little warning on a camera asking if you're sure that it's safe to use the third party. Yes, I've used it for my A6400, for A6000, for my A7 IV, and I'm very happy of using these. You can pick up a couple of them and you can save a lot of money. And on top of that, as super optional, there are these battery chargers. You can either charge them at home, but if you're a lot on the go, you can get these little cases, something like this from Viltrox, for example, where you simply throw the batteries in, close it, and it's just going to be charging your battery. Very convenient. 3 more things to go for the absolute must-have. SD cards. These cameras don't record internally, so you will have to get an SD card. Again, you can go Sony way and pay a lot of money. I personally choose the Angelbird. I think, again, price performance wise, these are incredible. Definitely recommend it, and definitely pick up more than one because you don't want to run out of of memory while you're out in a shoot. So if you're only focusing on photos, this is all your essential. You probably don't need anything else to just get started. However, if you want to do also videos, you need two more things. One is audio, second is filters. So let's start with the audio. There are two options basically. I've been really enjoying the new Holyland Lark Max 2. These are wireless microphones. They also come with a little monitoring device like a headphone. They're just so small and so compact, and it's just incredible to take it with you. And I'm using one right now on myself. It's pretty new. The most important thing that it has 32-bit float. That means I can speak really quiet or I can speak really loud, and it's not gonna be clipping, and you're gonna have a really good audio. So in the package you actually have a bunch of other accessories like the lavalier microphone and clip-ons and whatnot. So you can use it for interviews, you can use it with talking head videos or just outside. It's just incredibly versatile setup. Alternatively, you can also use the shotgun mic that goes on the camera. I think it's a really great option if you are just run and gun shooting and want to capture the audio outside, or also you could be using it like this on a camera, but you have to have it pretty close to have a really good audio. There are a bunch of options. I've used this Movo VXR10 for years. It's an absolutely amazing budget option. Right now they actually released the X1 and X1 Mini. I highly recommend to check out the new product because, you know, it's also really affordable and good quality microphone that will last you for years. If you want to have something a little more expensive, let's say, and more pro level, you can go with Dady. This one is, I believe, D3 Pro. Again, I've used it for so many years, and these are the things that will last you a really, really long time. Okay, and very last thing, you need a ND filter, variable ND filter, if you want to control the light and have the footage, you know, proper. I'm personally using the Freewell filters, and they have actually bunch of options. Like there are these magnetic ones in one, there's pro level like K2. It comes with different options. You can slide in bunch of other filters, mist filters and other things, but honestly you don't even need to go so pro with these things. What I've been actually sort of like downgrading lately, and I absolutely love the setup with these threaded hybrid VNDs, and they also have a CPL in them. But basically what it does, you know, it just controls the light, as you can see. And they're pretty affordable, super slim. You just screw them on the lens and that's it. Just make sure that you get a right size for your lens. So those were the absolute basics for content creation. Now let's talk about some little options and upgrades. One of them would be probably, if you're making videos, I would say a gimbal. I mean, there are a bunch of gimbals out there. I personally have been enjoying the DJI RS4. You could also go with an older model, but this one I absolutely love, and I also have a handle from SmallRig just for a little more convenience. And then depending on the way you're shooting, you can also have a tripod. I'm a fan of this one. It's a carbon fiber because I'm traveling a lot and I take it with me quite a lot. It's pretty small, pretty compact. It works as a video head and as a photo head. So as I said, this one is from Ulanzi JJ06. Again, all the links will be in the description. Then next up, a drone. This is really, I mean, it really depends on you. I know everyone says, oh, you almost need to get a drone. I don't think you need to get a drone. I think it is super optional. Don't listen to the people that says you really need it. I've had drones all my life, and how little I use them, it's almost shameful. So I'm actually getting rid of my DJI Mavic 3 Pro and keeping this really small one from Potensic. It's quite cheap, but you know, it does the job. I can have the establishing shots, I can have the photos. I'm not a crazy cinematographer and I'm not gonna be spending their hours. You know, I just want to throw something small in the backpack. And I mean, these like DJI Mini 4-5 Pro that's gonna come out is probably gonna be plentiful. So really think about it. You don't need it. Nice to have, absolutely. All right, and if you want to go a little bit more pro level, there's almost like an endless opportunities for you to do so, and probably usually starts with cages or cage kits. I have it set up here where I have the cage kit, I have a side handle, then I have the V-mount battery. I made a whole video, I will link all those videos. For a beginner, definitely not yet. but it is in some point really nice to have a cage kit because you can put all the accessories, you can, monitors as well. Speaking of which, this is the new Axon CineView M7 Pro. It's also a wireless transmitter because I actually need it in some shoots. And this is like a pro level setup. I don't think you really need it from a beginning, but it's definitely good to keep in mind. And there's actually a budget option if you want, also from Axon. This little thing is the CineView Nano, and it basically you can use your phone. You just put it up here, connects wirelessly, and allows you to both monitor the footage, record the screen, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's a really good device. Again, optional. All of these are optional. Okay, one more thing. Almost no space. It's a freaking backpack. I hope I'm not gonna make a mess here, but I'm just gonna show it here. A backpack will help you a lot if you have to go places. I use the one from Ulanzi because it's just amazing how much space there is for your gear and the things that you can put in all pockets. And it also has this material that protects from rain and all other stuff. You want your gear to be safe. So, and some accessories. I mean, yeah, you can have a bunch of things that make your life easier. One of them is this little small rig tool. You know, it has like hex keys and other keys, and has the thingy to attach like the plates for tripods and whatnot. Just, you know, as I said, this is all you need. This is all optional alternatives and nice to have. Let me know in the comments how you would make your setup. Obviously, there's probably a million ways on how you can make this up, but if I were to start the content creation today, this is exactly what I would get, and I think I would be pretty happy with this setup. Let me know your thoughts. I see you in the next one. Cheers.